All right. So, welcome everyone to the APAC friendly SIG Docs meeting for the month of November. I am Divya Mohan and I am one of the SIG Docs co-chairs from APAC, of course. And today's meeting will mostly be very light on the agenda because there are not many updates, to be honest. And as I mentioned before the recording started, I actually pretty much forgot that there was this meeting. So any which ways, before we get started, I want to remind everyone here that today, and as with every other meeting, we follow the Kubernetes code of conduct. And this basically boils down to being excellent to one another, and it essentially means that we do not tolerate any form of harmful or abusive language on the chat or on the call or any forum within the CNCF ecosystem. So with that, um, a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. I also want to ensure that in case there, one of y'all notice that there is a code of conduct violation, please ensure that this is reported to the code of conduct committee by the appropriate mechanism. So I'll start sharing the doc. Just a second. Hopefully this is visible. I'm not really sure if it is. But yeah, so for the release 1.29, Bube, do you have any updates for the docs and the comms teams?
So current status is yellow.
For the
Because
docs or the comms?
yeah, docs.
Okay.
Yes, current status is yellow. We have about 18 PRs merged already, and then we also have like some other PRs, about 20 something, ready for review. So we've sent out messages to all CAP owners to get their PRs merged before 24th. Yeah. So fingers
Right.
crossed that
Yeah, fingers crossed. Do you have the exact number of PRs that are ready for review?
I think it's
Like it's
about 20 something. Like I'm not sure, but it was 20 some as at 2 days ago it was 22.
um and I do not think there's a comms person on the call. So yeah, so we will wait for the comms person to enter their updates async. Any other release dates that are upcoming that are of note that you want to highlight, Bube? Or I can enter it async as well, but are there any specific notes that you would like us to have with regards to special attention or something like that for docs PRs?
No, not at the moment. I am not confident in the fact that all those PRs are going to be merged before the deadline. So like that's my only worry.
Okay. And if you need any assistance from our side, please feel free to ping on the release docs channel by tagging one of the SIG leads along with the um you know, not tagging one, actually tagging all of the SIG leads if there is anything that we need to do from our side with respect to reviewing and approving. Um, because you do require an LGTM and an approve, so that's the reason. Um, any issues or PRs that are specific to are you know specifically requiring any docs or docs approval, Bube, for the release, or is it all okay from our side?
I think it's all okay from our side. But by tomorrow, like I'll be able to have more updates on that based on responses from all CAP owners.
All right. Um, so um that's pretty much it. Like I said, we do not have a lot of issues or PRs related to that require urgent attention, or that require the audience's attention with respect to contributions. Um so some of the questions or discussion points that I have from my side, and this has been iterated across meetings previously, are that the issue wranglers nominations are still underway for the next year. Um, Please note that for nominating yourself for this role, you need to be a Kubernetes org member, and you can refer to the nomination call, which is an email sent to SIGDocs, by checking out the links provided on the documentation, on this agenda doc. And we also have documentation around the role, listing the prerequisites, listing the roles and responsibilities that are assigned to this, but to the issue wrangler, on the contributor guide. So I'll pause there for a bit. Do you have any questions around it?
No questions. I actually want to be an issue wrangler, but I wasn't exactly clear on the process around that.
Okay. So essentially, an issue wrangler is a person who is triaging the issues that come to that are reported to Kubernetes website GitHub repo. That is essentially the SIGDocs repo. And by triaging, what we mean is that there will be labeling of issues. There will be assignment of issues, to, like if certain issues come in that are not really related to the website, or are more related to a support request, then you sort of transfer them to another repo. You ensure that the correct SIG is actually looking at those issues in terms of, like, if you require more clarification from a technical perspective, and more or less ensuring that that issue actually does get picked up for contribution. So the three responsibilities that I would probably summarize this as would be, firstly, to label effectively, to ensure the right kind of attention is there on the issue from a SIG perspective. And also the last one would be to socialize once you have all the information, and to open it up for contribution. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. To be an Asian wrangler, like, do I need someone to sponsor me? Like, I'm already part of the Kubernetes org, and I'm
Yep.
already like contributing to the docs for this release. I don't know if there's anything special that I need to do.
So the minimum requirements are that of 15 contributions, of which a certain percentage must be to K website. I think you already fulfill that criteria as well, because you're contributing to this as part of the release. You are a Kubernetes GitHub org member, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't think, let me just open up the documentation. And you should be performing the role in an informal capacity already. So the reason why this is sort of required is, I'm not sure if a lot of people who get started um, have the context around um, the kind of issues that are reported. So um, I don't think it should be a challenge when it comes to people who are already working with the Kubernetes project. But obviously, this is going to like be an assistant role, like not really assistant. So issue wrangler and PR wrangler roles are sort of going to go hand in hand when it comes to the management of issues and PRs in the repository. So you can definitely, nominate yourself, and if you need help, we also have the guide, like the issue wrangling guide that is already there. So when to close issues, and what are the common commands used, and what are the triaging and categorizing issues guidelines, and stuff like that. So I don't think it should be a challenge for you, but yeah, I mean, I think you should consider nominating if it seems like something you'd like doing over the next quarter. Like, it's only a week long shift, and if you find it challenging, what I would suggest is that you first take on 1 week, and then see if you can ramp up to actually contributing more, or if you need to work on figuring out the context around it. Like, I would suggest going slow, but again, it's based on your appetite.
Sure, no problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, don't mention. So if you need to nominate yourself, the TLDR is you either reach out to me, or Natalie, or Ray, or one of the leads as well. We all have access to um, edit the issue wrangler rota, which is, just a second, I will show you that as well. Oh, okay. Typically me. So we have a PR wrangling and an issue wrangling rota, which is right now, it's pretty empty, and people have nominated themselves for other like for other slots again here. So I'll be adding that in. But yeah, if you feel like you want to nominate yourself for one of the weeks here, just let us know, and we'd be happy to add you in. So are there any further questions on that, or can we move on?
Yeah, I'm actually interested in nominating myself, like, for for March 10.
Okay. I'll put in your name. So just a second. I'll just put in your
Yeah.
name here directly, so that I do
And
not yeah.
yeah, and oh, there are actually a lot of slots. Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of slots. Because this is not a very glorified role. Let me also put that because as you can see, we have like 742 issues, and
Mm,
it's actually extremely impossible for a PR wrangler and the existing set of approvers and reviewers to take on this entire load. So the aim with the issue wrangler is you gain more context around this. You then become and you also are engaged in PR reviewing. So you essentially bridge the gap between a contributor and a reviewer by actually gaining more context by taking on this role, and then move to a reviewer position, and then from there on to an approver and maintainership. So this is to basically like this is a role that's basically for people who are interested in getting more hands-on involvement with SIG docs and the kind of work that SIG docs does. So,
Mm,
can I have your GitHub
yeah,
handle?
yeah. P, capital P,
Yeah,
RINC, princess,
yeah.
princess O, O,
Could you spell that out for me? I don't want to get it wrong. Or you can
just
enter
O.
it in the chat.
Okay, okay, let me just type.
Yeah, it'll be easier because I don't want to get it wrong, and then people reaching out to the wrong person. That is the reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's just a small O. Okay, that's fine.
Small O, small O.
All right. So,
I also want to pick more dates.
okay, you can pick more dates. No worries. It doesn't need to be on this call. I have just, it doesn't need to be right away. I've added you for March 10th. If you want to take
Oh,
on March January 7th or January 21st already has a taker. So January 7th or February 4th or February 18th, let me know. That's fine.
okay, okay.
All right. So that's about the issue wrangler role. The next one is that the CFP, that's the call for paper for KubeCon Cloud Native Con being held in Paris the next year, is going to close on November 26th. So if you are interested in proposing a talk or a session in terms of like a tutorial or a paper, please actually do so at the earliest, because 26th is barely 4 days away. As part of that, we will also, like SIG docs, the maintainers leads, will also be submitting a maintainer track talk focusing on how the work that we do within Kate's documentation could translate into job opportunities, which hopefully ends up getting us more attendance on the track overall, because this is something that we struggle with at every KubeCon, like not getting enough audience. So that's our idea for the talk this time around. um and I'm gonna pause there. Do you have any questions, Princess?
No questions at the moment.
Okay. So the next one is that from the previous KubeCon, that is the one that just ended, the session calling out for help with several areas of docs, including issue wrangling. Um, the slides are available on the scheduling that's on the agenda documentation. So if you like, we potentially cannot list the same things every meeting in terms of discussion points. So if you are already like, most of these are a little intermediate in terms of contributing experience, but we are willing to shadow and mentor folks who are actually interested. So um, please go through the docs and reach out on the SIG docs channel if there are any initiatives that you actually want to get involved with. This is available for everyone. You can download the PDF off of Shed. So any questions around that?
No, no questions.
Thank you. Also at the NA KubeCon, we had a contributor summit. We had a dog sprint at the contributor summit. So we basically discussed how we could leverage AI within the documentation efforts that we have within Kubernetes. The TLDR is, although AI sounds really great, with the current level of approvers, reviewers, and stable pool of contributors that we have, we need assistance to integrate AI more so with staffing rather than the actual big ticket initiatives. There are smaller scope areas, and in the meeting notes there's also a list of AI focused tools that we've included, and you can view all of this and more on the GitHub discussion that's linked here. So yeah, any questions around that, please?
Questions?
All right. Do you have any questions that you want to bring up, Mube, with regards to any of the work that we're doing, or any specific area that you want to get involved in?
Right now I don't have any questions at the moment. Yeah.
All right. Um. So I think that is pretty much what I have for today, to be really honest. And if there aren't any questions or concerns or any outstanding issues that need to be discussed, I think we can conclude the meeting today. And you can reach out to us on Slack, like the SIG Slack channel, um, or the Release Doc Slack channel, as is appropriate. So yeah, thank you for attending and being through, staying through the rest of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a
Yeah.
nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.